Welcome to Tech Topics brought to you by CyberVenture. We help keep small businesses stay protected and compliant with cutting-edge cybersecurity and IT solutions.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Andy. I'm the Managing Consultant for CyberVenture. Today's another deep dive into the NIST 800-171. There's 110 controls. Today's control is 3.13.11. Now, interestingly enough, today's control harkens back to another control. It's almost a duplicate of it. It's 3.1.13. They're even named very similar, right? You got 3.13.11 and 3.1.13. 3.1.13 says that you must use FIPS-Validated encryption to protect remote sessions. So if you are VPN'd in to a system, you got to use FIPS approved. So what is FIPS? FIPS is an organization, it's a standard. The NIST created the standard, Federal Information Processing Standard. This is an old standard. It was created back in 1996, I believe. And it's just designed to create a set of standards that encryption algorithms must meet, like how hard it is to break them, how many bits need to be used, things like that. And there are certain encryption standards that fit that. A real easy one, if you're trying to create a VPN, or you're trying to encrypt data at rest, or whatever you're trying to encrypt, AES 256 is kind of my favorite. It's very common. It's FIPS validated. AES 256 is an asynchronous types of encryption, which means you've got your keys are the same on both sides, both private, a shared private key. You can encrypt and decrypt with it, as opposed to asynchronous, something like SSL, for example, where you've got a private key that only you have and a public key that you give out to anybody. Public key can only be used to encrypt, not to decrypt, and the private key can decrypt. So the idea is that you, like in a VPN situation, you can give out your private key. They can encrypt the session, the AES private key, bring that back to you, and then you both have a copy of it, and then that's how the session starts. So VPN, I don't want to get too much into how VPNs work, but IPsec VPNs, there's usually two sides. There's the, you got your initial header that you can set up, and then there's the session itself that encrypts the data itself. So there's usually two halves of that, but almost always when you're looking at the options, AES 256 is one of them. Just go with that. If you're using BitLocker, if you're using any other encryption software to encrypt the disk, AES 256. So that's kind of the rubber meets the road recommendation for this particular control. There's not really a whole lot to talk about with this control. It's kind of repetitive. Like I said, there's another one out there that talks about, there's 3.1.13 that talks about in session. This is just in general. So this would cover also at rest. And if you deep dive into some of the NIST controls that talk about encrypting disk data on disk, they mention FIPS and all that sort of thing. If we want to look down here at our screen here's our cell. It just says establish and manage cryptographic keys. No, that's the last one. I'm sorry. Here we go. 3.13.11. Employ FIPS validated cryptography when used to protect the confidentiality of CUI. And the second detailed cell really doesn't tell us anything else. But if we go to Microsoft, they got a whole page up here on FIPS and their ability to use FIPS validated encryption and things like that. So you can always dig up a little bit. But basically, really, if you just want to know that you've got the right answer, move on. Just use AES 256 whenever possible. There are some standards to avoid. MD5 is a weak encryption standard. I don't think that passes that anymore. There are DES. DES is awful. You can't use DES, and even triple DES, I think, improved the situation. I don't want to make this too much about encryption. I'm trying to get the idea of the control. But it's interesting that it's duplicated. And what I always say is whenever you see a duplication in the NIST control, they're trying to beat a point home. And there's some subtle difference between the two. It's not always a perfect duplication between them. There's something different. And it's being general as opposed to specific. It's saying, whatever you're doing, use FIPS validated encryption. So that's really it for this control. There's not a lot to talk about, so I won't drag on any more than I have. And I will see you all in the next video.
Thanks for watching. We hope this video has provided valuable information to you. Be sure to share this video with other small business owners to spread the word about the importance of cybersecurity. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you want more information about cybersecurity, visit us at www.cyberventure.com.